Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I invite you to turn inward and listen with more than your ears. What I'm about to share is not distant theory, but the living truth that shapes every outcome of your life. The struggles you face, the vision you hold, the final stretch you endure, all are woven together in one law. What you accept within, you will meet without. You are not here to be defeated by appearances. You are here to discover that conviction is stronger than circumstance. Imagination is greater than resistance, and victory is not something you chase, it is something you already possess. The final stretch is a test of conviction, not strength. When you arrive at that point in any journey where the end is within sight, yet the weight feels heaviest, it is not the body that is being challenged, but the spirit. Muscles may ache, the mind may argue, and every outward sign may suggest that stopping is easier, perhaps even sensible. But this last stage is not designed to measure how much raw power you possess. It is meant to reveal whether you truly believe in the vision you set out to achieve. Strength can carry you for a time, but conviction is what carries you across the finish line. Anyone can begin with enthusiasm when the road is fresh and energy runs high. The real question emerges when the enthusiasm fades, when the easy steps have been taken and only the hard steps remain. Conviction is that inner decision that no matter how rough the terrain, no matter how long the road stretches, you will continue to move toward what you know belongs to you. It is easy to mistake this stage for failure. The tiredness, the obstacles, the delays, they all disguise themselves as signs to turn back. But look closely, and you will see they are signals of proximity. They are the guardians of the final stretch, testing whether you will hold the inner picture firmly enough to reach the odds. To result. Conviction does not require that you feel strong at every moment. Conviction asks only that you refuse to surrender to appearances, that you keep placing one step in front of the other, even if the step feels small and heavy. Think of the runner who has trained for months. At the start of the race, the crowd cheers, the energy is high, and the body feels alive with power. But near the end, when the distance has nearly been covered, the cheers fade, the body weakens, and each breath feels harder to draw. It is not strength that takes the runner through that final mile. It is the decision, deep and unwavering, that they will not stop until the finish line is crossed. That decision, that unseen force, is conviction. Conviction is the anchor that steadies you when doubt rises. It is the quiet voice that says, "I know where I am going, and I will not stop until I arrive." Strength can be shaken, but conviction endures because it is not built on the temporary state of the body. It is built on the permanent knowing of the mind. When the final stretch confronts you, the question is not whether you have enough energy, but whether you have enough belief. This is why so many fall short just before the breakthrough. They believe their exhaustion is proof that they cannot continue, when in truth it is evidence that they are close. The difficulty of the final stretch is the proof of the nearing vision. It comes not to defeat you, but to demand that you stand firm in what you have chosen. The test is simple. Will you allow the appearance of struggle to control you, or will you remain loyal to the end you have imagined? Conviction does not mean ignoring the strain. It means carrying the strain with the certainty that it cannot stop you. Every challenge becomes lighter when it is carried by a mind fixed on its purpose. The body may stumble, but the conviction keeps it moving. The day may grow darker, but conviction knows that light is already prepared at the end. Conviction transforms obstacles into stepping stones and turns delays into preparation. When the final stretch arrives, understand it as the moment of revelation. You are being shown what truly governs your path. It is not the size of your muscles, not the loudness of the crowd, not the ease of the road. It is the depth of your belief. Conviction is invisible, yet it outweighs every visible obstacle. It does not require fanfare. It does not demand constant applause. It simply requires that you remain true to the inner image of what you seek. And so, when the fatigue comes, when the road seems longest, when the temptation to quit presses heavily, remind yourself, this is not a test of strength. This is the proving ground of conviction. To keep moving is to declare that what you desire is already yours, and no appearance can take it from you. The final stretch is a test of conviction, not strength. At the beginning of any journey, momentum feels natural. Energy flows, excitement fills the air, and every step carries a sense of freshness. But as the path unfolds, fatigue begins to whisper, challenges appear, and resistance gathers in forms you did not expect. It is here, in this narrowing corridor between effort and achievement, that you discover what truly carries you forward. Strength may push you for a while, but strength alone fades. Conviction, however, is the silent fuel that does not burn out. The last part of the journey is never about how much physical force remains. It is about whether the inner picture you hold is strong enough to guide you through weariness. The body may be tired, but the vision within must remain alive. The outer self might tremble, but the inner self declares, "I will not stop until I have arrived." Conviction is not about denying exhaustion. It is about walking forward despite it. Imagine the artist who has worked countless hours on a masterpiece. At first, the brush moves easily, the canvas welcomes color, and inspiration flows. But nearing completion, the tiniest detail seems stubborn, mistakes threaten to appear, and frustration tempts the hand to drop the brush. Yet the difference between an unfinished sketch and a masterpiece is not strength of hand. It is the persistence of conviction to finish what was started. The final strokes may feel the heaviest, yet they are also the strokes that reveal the vision in full. In the same way, the student facing the last exam, the entrepreneur closing the final deal, or the dreamer about to see their vision materialize, all meet the same trial. The trial is not whether they are still strong, it is whether they will remain faithful to what they began. Conviction whispers to them, "Do not be fooled by appearances. This fatigue is only the shadow of your victory." Conviction has a language of its own. It does not shout. It does not boast. It speaks in the quiet knowing that what is desired already exists, waiting only for persistence to bridge the gap. Strength may tell you to stop when tired. Conviction tells you to keep moving because the end is already secured. Strength bends under pressure. Conviction becomes sharper when tested. Strength looks at the clock and grows weary. Conviction looks at the vision and grows steady. The final stretch is difficult because it strips away illusions. It reveals whether your pursuit was fueled by temporary excitement or by enduring belief. Many begin with strength. Fewer finish with conviction. The finish line is never awarded to those who ran only with muscles. It is given to those who ran with the inner certainty that no matter how heavy each step became, they would reach their destination. The truth is, the world bends not to strength, but to conviction. Mountains do not move for the strong. They move for the certain. Doors do not open for those who knock once. They open for those who refuse to walk away until they can't. Opening appears. The weight of the last step is not meant to crush you, but to prove you have chosen something worth carrying. Strength comes and goes. Conviction is a decision renewed moment by moment. It is the unseen contract between you and your vision. When you are on the final stretch, conviction is what allows you to taste the victory before the finish is even crossed. It lets you breathe the air of achievement while still in the act of striving. It transforms tiredness into testimony that you have come too far to stop now. So when the final stretch presses against you, know this: you are not being asked to summon more power. You are being asked to summon loyalty to your vision. The body may weaken, but the mind can remain fixed. The heart can declare, "I will not turn back." This is the true test, not of strength, but of conviction. Struggles are signs of progress. The very moment you begin to stretch beyond where you have been, life will present you with resistance. This is not proof that you are failing, it is proof that you are moving. No current is felt until a ship pushes forward. No wind opposes until a bird takes flight. The resistance you encounter is the echo of your own advancement. It is the evidence that you have left the comfort of stillness and entered the living stream of growth. Think of the seed planted in the soil. For days it lies hidden in darkness, silent and unseen. Then, when life stirs within it, the struggle begins. The tender sprout must break the hard shell that once protected it. It must push through layers of earth, meeting weight and resistance at every turn. From the outside, it may look as though the sprout is being buried deeper in difficulty. Yet this very struggle is the proof that life is awakening, that growth is happening. Without it, the seed would remain unchanged, locked in potential, but never expressing its destiny. So it is with you. The obstacles you face are not evidence that you are stuck. They are the living signs that you are unfolding into more. When the road becomes steep, when the weight feels heavier, understand that you are climbing higher. Struggle accompanies every ascent. The mountain does not test those who stay at the base. It tests only those who dare to climb. Progress is not a quiet companion. It demands your attention by showing up as challenges, setbacks, and unexpected turns. The world outside mirrors the transformation taking place within you. The discomfort you feel is the stretching of your old limits, the reshaping of your identity, the breaking of the shell that once contained you. Each struggle is a marker on the path, whispering that you are leaving behind what was and stepping into what can be. It is tempting to view struggle as punishment, to interpret it as a sign that you are moving in the wrong direction. But look deeper. The weight of resistance is proportionate to the greatness of the vision. A river meets rocks only because it is flowing. A plane feels turbulence only because it is soaring. The fact that you meet resistance is not a call to retreat. It is a call to recognize that progress is alive within you. Struggles sharpen conviction. They strip away the unnecessary, revealing what truly matters. They ask you, how deeply do you want what you seek? How firmly will you stand for your vision? Each difficulty becomes a sculptor, chiseling away doubt and fear, shaping you into the one who can carry the success you are moving toward. Without the sculpting of struggle, you would not be prepared to hold the weight of achievement. Picture the athlete who lifts heavy weights. The muscle grows not in ease, but in resistance. The very strain that tears fibers apart is what creates strength. In the same way, the struggles you face tear away the old version of yourself and prepare the ground for the stronger self to emerge. What feels like breaking is often the building. What feels like pressure is the shaping of progress. Progress rarely announces itself in smooth paths. More often, it comes disguised as challenges that demand more of you than you thought you had. But with every struggle you endure, you gain proof that you are advancing. You discover that the capacity within you is larger than you realized. You begin to see that struggle is not an enemy to avoid, but a companion to embrace, for it signals that you are alive in the journey of becoming. Every great achievement is written in the language of struggle. The artist wrestling with the blank canvas, the writer battling the stubborn page, the innovator facing failure after failure. Each struggle testifies that they are pressing beyond the ordinary. If there were no struggle, there would be no new creation, no expansion, no progress. So when difficulties rise before you, do not misread them as barriers. See them for what they are, the unmistakable signs that you are moving forward. Struggles are the milestones of transformation, each one marking a step closer to the vision you hold. Hold your vision as a living reality. The mind has the power to shape what the eyes cannot yet see. Long before the outer world rearranges itself to mirror your desires, the inner world must claim them as already complete. To hold a vision is not to wish for it, not to hope that one day it may arrive. To hold a vision is to embrace it now, to wear it in thought and feeling as though it were already present, alive, and undeniable. When you treat your vision as distant, it remains distant. When you see it as uncertain, it slips further away. But when you breathe it, feel it, and dwell in it as if it were the most natural fact of your existence, the outer world begins to align. The world outside bends to the conviction inside. It is not a matter of chance, but of inner loyalty. Think of the architect who studies the empty land. To the casual observer, there is nothing but soil and space. Yet in the architect's imagination, the building already stands. Every room is seen, every wall is placed, every detail is alive within the mind. The workers may only later bring it into form, but the vision existed first as a living reality in thought. The same law holds true for every dream you carry. Your vision must be built and inhabited inwardly before it can stand outwardly. The temptation is always to look at appearances. You may see absence, delay, or contradiction. You may hear voices of doubt, both within and around you, but appearances are only shadows, reflections of the old state you are leaving behind. To hold your vision is to refuse to be governed by shadows and to remain loyal to the light of your inner image. You do not wait for proof. You generate proof by persisting in the state of already having what you desire. This is not passive daydreaming, it is deliberate occupancy. You enter into the end result in imagination and allow yourself to live there. Walk the streets of your fulfilled desire. Feel the emotions of its completion. Let it be as natural to you as breathing. The more real it becomes inside, the more inevitable it becomes outside. The line between inner and outer begins to dissolve until the vision steps forward into form. The greatest mistake is to treat the vision as a fragile hope. A fragile hope is easily broken by circumstance, but a living reality cannot be shaken, for it is carried in the depth of being. It is not something you look at from a distance. It is something you stand within. When doubts rise, you return to it. When obstacles appear, you remain anchored in it. The vision does not flicker because it is not a passing thought. It is your chosen state of existence. Consider the actor who prepares for a role. At first, the lines may seem foreign, the character unfamiliar, but with practice, the actor begins to inhabit the role until it becomes natural. The words flow, the gestures align, the very essence of the character comes alive. In the same way, when you hold your vision, you step into its role. You speak, think, and act as the one who already lives it. Life then responds accordingly, bringing circumstances and opportunities that match the state you have claimed. Holding your vision as a living reality is not about ignoring the present. It is about giving more power to the unseen future than to the seen moment. It is about carrying the conviction that what you desire is not coming. It has already arrived in the realm of imagination, and imagination is the seed of reality. The present circumstances are simply the soil from which the new state will emerge. So nurture your vision as though it breathes with you. Protect it from doubt as you would protect a flame from the wind. Return to it again and again until it becomes your natural dwelling place. Soon, you will no longer feel as though you are holding it. Instead, it will feel as though it has been holding you all along, guiding your steps and shaping your path. To hold your vision is to live in the end now, and in doing so, you invite the world to rearrange itself around the reality you have already claimed within. Victory is already yours, long before the outer result is visible, long before the world acknowledges your triumph. The truth of your success exists within you. To grasp this is to shift from chasing to claiming, from hoping to knowing. You are not struggling towards something uncertain, you are unfolding what has already been written in the unseen. When you imagine the end and accept it as real, you declare ownership of the victory. You do not wait for permission. Nor do you seek validation from circumstances. The world outside is only a mirror, and mirrors can only reflect what is held before them. If you hold defeat, defeat is what appears. If you hold triumph, triumph must appear. To walk in the certainty of victory is to live with a quiet confidence that cannot be shaken by appearances. Every challenge, every delay, every obstacle you meet does not cancel the outcome. They are part of the path that delivers you to the finish line. The seed does not question whether the bloom is possible. The bloom is already contained within it. In the same way, the vision you hold carries within it the guarantee of fulfillment. The struggle you feel is not a denial of victory, but the very evidence that it is unfolding. Victory is not a distant prize to be earned by endless toil. It is a state of being to be accepted inwardly first. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you have already crossed the finish line in the only place that matters, the mind. From there, the body and the world simply play catch-up, arranging themselves to match what has already been claimed. The journey is not about creating something new, but about awakening to what has always been yours. Think of the athlete stepping into the arena. The crowd sees only the contest ahead, but the champion enters with the knowing that victory is already sealed. That knowing governs every move, every breath, every choice. It is not arrogance, it is alignment. The champion does not wonder, will I win? The champion embodies, I have already won. The performance that follows is merely the unveiling of what was settled inwardly long before. So it is with your life. You may look at circumstances and think they hold power over you, but they are only shadows of old states. The real victory is determined in the unseen, where your imagination and conviction dwell, the moms. And you accept the end as already yours. Life begins to shift. People, opportunities, and events move into place, drawn by the magnet of your certainty. Victory is not about overpowering the world. It is about realizing that nothing can stand against the state of consciousness you inhabit. To claim victory is to take your seat in the reality of fulfillment now. When doubts rise, you do not wrestle with them. You return to the knowing that the outcome has already been decided. When obstacles appear, you do not bow to them. You walk through them with the calm assurance that nothing can undo what is already yours. This does not mean the path will always be smooth. Often, it is in the midst of the greatest resistance that the truth of victory shines brightest. The darker the night, the closer the dawn. The heavier the weight, the stronger the proof that you are on the brink of completion. Victory may appear hidden for a time, but it is never absent. It waits, not ahead of you, but within you, calling you to align with it fully. To live as though victory is already yours is to breathe differently, to move differently, to speak differently. Your words carry authority, your actions radiate confidence, your presence declares certainty. You no longer live from lack, you live from fullness. You no longer wait, you express. The outer world has no choice but to respond, because it cannot resist the one who has already taken possession inwardly. So as you step forward, remember, the final stretch is not a burden, but a signal that the finish line is near. Struggles are not enemies but signs of your own progress. Your vision, once held as a living reality, will draw all things into alignment. And above all, victory is not waiting in some distant tomorrow. It is already yours, here and now, waiting only for you to claim it. Walk in that certainty, and you will see the outer world bend to the truth you have embraced within.